Okay, so today I'm reviewing this 2026 Volvo EX30 Cross Country. And well, this car is the most off-road focused Volvo EV ever made because of one huge reason. This car has the Crosstrek upgrade, which adds bigger tires, lifted weight, more aggressive design, and many more things. But is it really all that it's hyped up to be? That's what we're going to be finding out in this video, and also I'm going to walk you guys through everything you need to know about this car, from the specs, the design of the interior and the exterior. But before we do that, we need to talk about the specs of this car, because this thing has an insane two electric motors, one in the front axle and one in the rear axle, and well, that helps you create 422 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. And just so you guys know, this car is based on the ultra performance variant of the Volvo EX30, which is the highest performance variant. So this is the fastest Volvo EX30 you could possibly buy, but with a whole bunch of extra off-road goodies. And well, all that power goes through a 1-speed automatic transmission via all four wheels to help this car rocket to 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. I mean, this is a Volvo. This is a Volvo hatchback with 5 seats. It's comfortable, large, aggressive, but 3.5 seconds 0 to 60, are you kidding me? That's insane. And well, that in itself is not just insane, there's more things that are even crazier about this car. But before we get into them, I need to also tell you guys about top speed, because this car's top speed is 112 to 115 miles an hour. No one's tested it yet, so it's just estimated, but still, I mean, it's relatively good for a really off-roady type SUV. And this, it's supposed to be the most off-road focused electric Volvo ever, but it's more of a soft roader, I guess you could call it, so it can go over some like bumps and hills and stuff, but it can't climb over like humongous stones and stuff like those Jeeps and stuff like that, but still, it's pretty cool. And well, now you're probably wondering, what is the number one most important thing performance-wise for pretty much all cars? And well, that is the quarter mile. And so let me first explain to you what the quarter mile is, because quarter mile pretty much measures how fast the car can go from a stop to the quarter of a mile, and they pretty much test it. So you say go, the car drives, and then there's a timer on the other side. Once it stops, it sees how fast you go between those two marks. And this car's quarter mile, it's actually really fast, because this car has a quarter mile of 12.1 seconds. And for off-road focused Volvo that looks cute and aggressive at the same time, but also is not insanely expensive, that is crazy quick, because 12.1 second quarter mile time is really close to a lot of new supercars. Yeah, supercars, not regular sedans, not performance sedans, but actual supercars. And now you can buy a Volvo that literally can go off-road and compete with supercars. I mean, that is just mind-boggling. But now you guys are probably wondering, what is the number one most important thing, at least for more family-oriented cars like this Volvo? And well, that is the range and MPG, because if this car doesn't have a good range or MPG, then you can't drive it. But well, this car's MPG, well, MPG-E, is over 116 MPGe. So the MPGe is really good. That means MPG electric. But anyways, then you also have range of 203 miles of range. Actually, I reviewed this car, not the Crosstrek spec, but I reviewed just a twin motor performance variant of this car. You guys check that out with the link above me. But I reviewed this car before, the actual regular performance version without the off-road stuff, and that has about 227 miles of range. But this one has only 203, because it's lifted 0.75 inches higher than the regular one, so about this much higher than the regular EX30. It has chunkier tires and like roof bars and stuff like that, so it's not as aerodynamic, but still 203 miles of range is relatively good, at least for an EV. And so now I've told you guys pretty much everything you need to know about this car spec-wise. Now all I have to tell you guys is one more thing, or at least you guys think, which is the price. But before I tell you guys the price, I need to tell you guys the history of the E-series of Volvos. And well, all started in 1976 when Volvo created a concept car called the Volvo Elbil. It doesn't really make any sense. Well, I chose that name at first, but then you find out that in Swedish, Elbil means electric car, and that's before there was any Tesla or GM or anything like that, or at least that was before any of them switched to electric. But, well, the Volvo EX30 was their first ever all-electric variant. It was 2.4 meters long, it had 50 miles of range, and it was meant to be a small electric-powered alternative to the regular gas-powered cars of back then. And then, in 1992, Volvo came out with the Volvo ECC, which stands for Volvo Environmental Concept Car. And, well, that utilized a gas turbine engine and an electric motor, and it was supposed to be the future of motoring. It was really interesting, and they actually revealed it in Paris, France. And then, well, in 1995, Volvo came out with the Volvo EX30 which was pretty much a hybrid Volvo based on the Volvo 850, which is the second best selling now, the like square box-shaped Volvo station wagon. But anyways, it was based on that car, and it was pretty much a wild hybrid concept that Volvo created in 1995. And, well, then it took a little while for them to get back up to speed and create another all-electric vehicle. And, well, then, well, Volvo came out in 2010 with the Volvo C30 hatchback. They pretty much made it a pilot program. They created 300 models for testing, and it showcased advanced battery packs, bioethanol heaters for cold weather, and they were tested in all types of weather, from cold to hot, and like these things were all around tested so that they could see if it was even feasible to create an all-electric Volvo at the time. Because over 9 years later, Volvo comes out with the Volvo XC40, which was their first ever production all-electric SUV, and it was pretty much based on the regular XC40, but it was called the Volvo XC40 Recharge, and it was all-electric, pretty wild. But then, in 2021, Volvo announced that we're only going to build fully electric cars by 2030. I don't know how true that's going to be once 2030 comes, but they claim that by 2030 all their cars will be electric. And then in 2021, Volvo comes out with the EX30, the EX90, and actually only a week ago Volvo came out with the Volvo ES90, which is their electric sedan. So ES, I guess you could say, stands for electric sedan, but 90, I don't really know what that means. But now you have the EX30, EX90, and ES90. So now you have all these electric models under the big Volvo brand. Now all you're pretty much wondering is, are they really going to come through with this all-electric grand plan, or are they going to keep building gas-powered models until the government says you can't anymore? Well, that's a discussion for next time. But anyways, now I've told you guys pretty much everything you should know about this car, spec-wise and history-wise. Now let's talk a little bit about the price, because this thing starts at $48,000. I mean, it's not insanely whopping, but still, it's a little bit expensive. $48,000 for this car. But that is actually just a base price for Volvo. This car, with its beautiful gray paint, beautiful off-road spec, and really nice interior as well, well, this one is $51,000 exactly. So all this trim costs $51,000. Comment down below if you get this car for $51,000. I have to check out the rest of it, and at the end of the video, I'll tell you guys. So now, after we've told you guys everything you should know about the history and the specs of this car, now let's hop inside and check out the exterior to see if they're just as good as the specs. Okay, and so now let's start checking out this exterior, and first, I want to talk about the front of this car, because it looks way different than the regular EX30. First, you have this, so this humongous, yeah, it's plastic, but you have this huge, it's just like terrain, kind of like how GMC does, and you have coordinates, interesting, but you have like this whole front here, which is more like dark black to signify it's a cross-track model. Also, you have this like interesting material here as well, all down the front, so like when you're going over bumps and there's rocks or something that doesn't hit the paint, if it's right here or right here, so that's also really nice. You also have Volvo badging here as well, which also looks really nice. Nice little camera there as well. And one thing I really like about Volvos is their attention to detail. Like, a lot of their cars, they're really like symmetrical and ergonomic, like the interiors, and also if you just look at the front of this car, like, it's perfectly in line. Like, it's really like pleasing for the eye when they design the cars like that. And then also you have some air intakes right here as well, which is also quite nice. Some sensors here for LiDAR and stuff like that. And these are not air intakes, it just looks like it is, but this is actually just straight flat under there. Then You also come to the side here, and you have these really cool, pretty much all E-Series Volvos, like electric Volvos, have these type of lights. It's almost like an arrow kind of like pointing inwards, if that makes sense. And when you turn it on, it looks also really, really nice. You also have, those are your main nighttime running lights there. These are more of like daytime running lights coming across here, mainly for looks, and these are also your fog lights here. So everything integrated into one headlight, which I think is really nice. A lot of car companies these days, they waste their time. I feel like they add a light up here and a light up here and a light up here, and I don't think it's really smart. I think it's perfect when they just integrate everything into there. Then also you have some nice little air intakes there, which are actually functional, which is also seriously nice. And you can see my hand through there, so you have nice little functional air intakes. And actually now I want to talk about the tires, because you have really nice Michelin tires here. These are aero type rims, so they're more aerodynamic because you have these like pieces here. The reason why they're there, so when air flows over them, then it's more like smooth and it's not creating as much drag. Even the way these pieces are shaped here, it's as aerodynamically efficient as possible. Then also you have nice little Volvo brakes there as well, Volvo badge there. Then you hop up, and another thing that you have only on the cross track is this. So you have this like plastic type of like wide body type piece there to make it look like wider. Pretty much all cross track serious Volvos have that, because before they even had electric Volvos, you also had like the CX30 cross track, the the S90 cross track and stuff like that. Then you also have mud guards here as well, which is quite nice. You have more of that really cool trim coming across the side of the car here, which is also really, really nice. Then you also have these mirrors with no sides. I really like the way they look. And actually, just like Polestars, they have these exact same type of mirrors, because Polestar is owned by Geely and Volvo combined, so this kind of has some of the same features here and there. But I really like the way that these small aerodynamically efficient mirrors there as well, which is also really nice. Then also over here you have these nice heavy duty roof racks here. Other Volvo EX30s, they don't originally come with this, they're just more smooth and aerodynamic, because this one is a lifted, bigger, more aggressive version. You have to of course have those nice roof racks there as well. Then you come to the back, and this car is really strange looking, to say the least. I've never seen another car that looks this interesting. Like, the design is really, I'd say it's really cool and futuristic, but also I've never really seen a car like this. First, let's talk about these lights, because you have these really interesting lights here. Kind of more red here that kind of fades away more up there, which is interesting. Some more blinker lights there as well. You have your backup lights there, and I really like how it looks like it's just glass like cut into it almost, which is really cool. You also have those side lights there with Volvo badging as well, which also looks really nice. And then this is another feature that Volvo has for the cross country. So you have this badge here, cross country badging there, so of course you know what it is. Then also another really interesting thing is that this is supposed to be more of a like mid-size or small SUV, but it's really, really low. Like, this thing, it comes up to about my chin, but like it's seriously low. It kind of slants to the back. I'll see later in the video how good the headroom is, but it's really interesting that they have this really like slanted type back. You also have Volvo badging there, a really, really tiny window, and then another brake light right there. Then you also have EX30 twin performance there, just in case you didn't know, this was the most high performance variant of the EX30. Then also you have more of this interesting material there, cross country badging along the back, and then some air outtakes there, which actually aren't air outtakes. Kind of strange, but still also kind of interesting. And so now we've pretty much checked out all of the really interesting exterior of the Volvo EX30 Cross Country. Now let's check out the trunk and the frunk. So we're gonna press this button, pops open electrically, and this is so tiny, this trunk, but the trunk is relatively good sized. I mean, you have some floor mats here and some more stuff. You have tethers at the back of the seats there, which is also really nice. A little bit of storage on each side there as well. Then also you have a nice little 12-volt charging port there as well. And this trunk is really simple. I really like actually how they have there's pretty much no lip. I mean, there is a tiny lip, but it's not huge like some other cars I've reviewed, so that's also really nice. And actually, check this out. This lock right here looks really, weird. Usually the whole thing's exposed, but this one almost looks like it's half buried, but still, that is also quite interesting. And also, one more feature before we check out the front, you have this. Check this out. So this is a badge. This is what the Volvo EX30 looks like from like the side, kind of like a sketch almost. And then from the back as well, it shows how big the trunk is. Interesting, says will it fit? So I guess you supposedly could fit that type of stuff in there, which is also quite interesting. And it's cool how you have that little guide type of thing there. Then you pop this closed, and it's nice how it beeps so you know it's closing. So like, let's say it's dark or something, really nice safety feature. And actually, you guys might not have known this, but Volvo actually created the seatbelt. So before Volvo created the seatbelt, cars drove around with no seatbelts and actually no headrest. So Volvo is a big person, like a big company in safety. And so now you have to, I guess, double pull it. Let's try it out now. I'm assuming it should open because I didn't find the latch. Okay, that's good. And it's nice also how it has those hydraulics there as well. And as you guys can see, this does not have an engine, so it has a frunk. And this one's actually closed up, not like the Porsche Macan that actually reviewed. Check that video out with a link above me. But you have to pop this open, and you have a little storage space here. Not the most spacious, I can admit, but you have a little bit of storage here, a little bit of storage there. And actually check that out. So it's showing, I guess, that this is the most off-road focused version because you have little elk or moose, you have like trees and stuff like that, so it's showing pretty much that this is like a trail seeking SUV. So another really cool little Easter egg in this car. So just pop that closed, and yeah, so there's not really much more to talk about because this pretty much just covers all the electrical, because there's one electric motor up here in the front axle more deep down and one in the rear axle, so you have all-wheel drive. But anyways, now we could close this hood up. Really nice hydraulics, and yeah, it just pulls up slowly. So just hit that closed and it pops down quite easy. Now let's start checking out this interior. Okay, and so now let's hop inside. So open this door. It's actually really low in this car, but okay, so now that we're inside this car, let's start checking out this interior. And yeah, first I want to talk about this type of area right here, because you have this really interesting, like, recycled wool type of material. It is recycled, but it's supposed to feel like wool, so it's like more luxurious. But actually, let's test out how spacious this little area here is. So, got a bottle, we're just gonna drop it in there, and yeah, it holds the bottle in place relatively well. I mean, it will shake around a bit, but if you want to put it up, this armrest also kind of doubles strangely as a bottle holder. So if you just put your bottle like that, then it holds it up, and you can use it as an armrest at the same time. So that's also really, really nice. Let's put that there. And yeah, it's armrest, nice. Like, a lot of the materials in the Volvos, it's really like high quality feeling. It's rare that you feel like cheap, like plasticky, like scratchy plastic. But overall, even though this is all actually recycled, like leather feeling material, or I believe it's called leatherette, recycled leatherette, all of this is that type of material. Then for the cross-track specifically, you have this rocky type feeling material here. I believe it's like recycled bottles and stuff, because Volvo, one of their biggest sayings is like to have everything like recycled so that it's more eco-friendly for the planet. But yeah, you have that nice material here as well, nice armrest. And then also you have this, I don't know what does it looks like painted on, like it looks like fabric almost, kind of strange, but you have that fabric type material there. Nice little handle there as well, which is also really, really nice. Then also you have this nice plastic material here as well, which also looks really, really cool. Then also, oh, so this material goes across like the whole part here. Yeah, so you have a nice material there as well. But aside from that, you also have this nice, more of this like leather feeling type material here, which is also really, really nice. It does get a little bit hot, which isn't the greatest, but still, you also have these nice ACs here as well. And actually, the ambient lighting is like connected to the AC. So look, like the ambient lighting strips are just coming all the way down the AC there, which is really interesting. I mean, the amount of movement they could do is relatively good, but you can't do up and down, which isn't the greatest. Then also, this also doubles as an airbag, so this entire area is the airbag, so that's also really good for safety. Then also check this out. So this might seem like a regular side, right? Like this entire roof, it looks pretty much the same except for this part, because this part here is an entire speaker, Harman and Kardon speaker. So Volvo and Polestar both, they do this thing nowadays where they have like just random pieces of the car, like either here, Polestar does it here as well, or sometimes even like pieces of the roof, it's entire speakers, so that you have the most like all around type sound quality, which I also think is definitely really nice. And yeah, so you have those hidden type speakers there, which is really cool. More of this nice material here as well, which is also definitely quite nice. And then actually over the screen here, you have this. So more of that interesting type of material, a vibrating material of there as well. I don't know if this is supposed to be maybe like storage or just like design, but still it's nice you have that little space right there as well. And now actually I want to talk a little bit about these seats, because I really like, at first from the exterior they look black, but now I see they're like this greenish material, this like fake wool type material, then the leatherette, and I'm a huge fan of these seats. And I actually think the reason why Volvo did this, like this area and this area, because it's more like it holds you in place better. Because like let's say it's a hot sunny day, right? If it's just leatherette, you're gonna get really sweaty and sticky, and it won't be that great. But just like sitting on it, it's really nice. But if your back's to it, then it makes you kind of sticky. But with this stuff here, it makes it more comfortable, and also it's kind of holds you in place, kind of grips your clothing almost, which I also think is a really nice feature. And headrest, really nice. I love the colors in this car. It's like more like off-road, like it's making it feel like an adventure vehicle, if that makes sense, because like the green interior and it's like off-road focused. But yeah, so these seats really nice. You also have a little Swedish flag right there as well, which is a cool little, another little Easter egg there. Then let's try on these seat belts. So we put them on, and yeah, the seatbelts, they're relatively good. Like, there's not many new cars even have, like, good seatbelts. But this car, seatbelt is really smooth. I mean, relatively quiet. I don't like, some cars, they kind of, like, scrape. I don't know why, but this one, yeah, it's smooth. And also, you have different adjustments for the seatbelt. So, if you're smaller or taller. And so, yeah, that's also quite nice. Then, also, let's start checking out this center console area here. Because you have nice little square cup holders here. You have, this is actually removable, so let's say if you want to clean it out, if you get dirt in it or something, you could just remove these areas here, or if you spill water, this holds the cups in place because it's kind of like grippy, so if you have a larger cup, which is also really, really nice, then you also have these. These are your window switches. So as you guys might have noticed, there's no window switches right here, but they're actually all right there. So I could roll down my window or roll up my window, just with these little switches in the center here. And also you could lock or unlock the car with these little buttons here. So none of that stuff that's usually on the door is on the door. It's all in the center console. Then also this area here is not a storage area. So this is just a big armrest. It has no storage purpose except for if you go under here. Because if you look down here, there's actually a pretty good amount of storage, at least 3 feet of storage, but it's a little bit hard to get into there. I mean, you could actually see from the back. I can put my hand in through the back here, but also from the front, but you can't necessarily access it through here. And I think that's, I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's actually a little nice, because if, let's say, I don't know, let's say you have a fishing pole or something, you could actually just put it straight through here, and it actually spreads all the way to here. So you have a good 4 feet of space through here, which is also really, really nice. Then also you hop down here and you have this. So you pull these up and you have 2 USB-C chargers there. All this you could actually pull out though, so if you want to wash these pieces. So this is like a nice little soft material there. You have to close these individually, and this is actually magnets. No like special stuff, but just simple magnets there. Then also you have this. These are actually phone chargers, 2 phone chargers. You have tiny little fans right here. And a lot of car companies these are actually copying it from Porsche, because originally Porsche decided to put, like, let's say there's a regular phone charger, wireless phone charger. They decided to put tiny little AC holes, so when you turn on your AC, it actually also automatically cools down your phone. So if you forget your phone in the charger for, let's say, too long or something like that, then it's always cooled down. So that's another really interesting feature. Then there's one thing that I want to show you guys that will blow your guys' mind, because the key of this thing makes 0 sense. It's literally a card. You could carry this in your pocket and literally forget about it, because it's lightweight, like literally I barely feel it. It doesn't really look like anything, so this is really strange. I feel like if someone accidentally took your wallet or something and they'd see this, they're like, what is it, a credit card? Like, it doesn't really make sense. It's just a black card that has no chip or anything, so that is definitely really interesting. Let's just put that back down there, and actually, they tell you to put it here, so you just store it in this little space down here so that you always know where it is. Then, now let me show you guys the special center console, or glove box, because you press this button here, and the glove box, voila, it actually comes at the center, so it's not spacious as if it was right here, but still, it's quite nice. You have a nice little book about your Volvo here, which is quite nice. You have different papers there in this space. I mean, it's relatively good. It's not the greatest space I've ever seen in a glove box, but it's really cool how it's kind of hidden. So actually, let's say, just in general, like this area right here, if it was a glove box, like, let's say the passenger sitting to open it, like, it falls down or something like that, it's not really ergonomic or friendly. This is really driver friendly, like the way they put it here. Driver could easily reach it, passenger could easily reach it, and it's not just for one person. Also, it's out of the way, so even if it's open, it's not blocking someone's like legs or something. It's just perfectly right there. So that is also a really nice feature. Now let's start checking out the screen, because it's pretty cool. Like, I believe it's going to be pretty fast. I reviewed the other EX30, the just high performance one, not the off-road variant, and the screen was pretty quick. But you have nice Google Maps here. Let's go. Alright, so let's just press it here, and oh, okay, so you have to just get everything through here. So it's relatively quick. Let's drag it from one side to the other. Oh yeah, this screen is seriously quick. Like, there's barely any lag. I don't know why on the camera it looks like it has more lag, but it's actually seriously quick. So that is definitely really nice. You have all your regular Google Maps buttons there as well. You have your radio there, phone, you have assist, Apple CarPlay, camera. So if you press that, you can actually just turn on your parking camera, and see, it generates a full view of your car. You see it shows the back of the car, the top of the car, and just in general, that view. But it's actually really cool how they generate this, because you can't move it around, but it pretty much is a camera that's showing kind of the top of the car, and it generates what the car would look like. I don't know exactly how they do it, but it's definitely really cool how car companies do that. Then, press X there. You could also go here, and you have like BT Media, radio, phone, Google Assist. You have Google Maps, Play Store, so you can download like video games and stuff, and then like Android Auto and stuff like that. Then also you have speakers there. You could access some of the features of your AC, but the AC is really nice. You have like, it shows the exact lines of flung. I don't know. So I guess it doesn't really update depending on where they're flung, but it just shows like the regular, if they're just straight, how they're flung. So that's also really nice. You also have like the different settings here. You have if you want the AC to be going to your legs or upwards, then you also have AC here. You have Eco, you have recirculate air, rear defroster, max defroster, and max AC. And you could turn up to medium, high, or low the AC level. Then you also go manual here, and so you could choose the exact level if you want it to be more down or put it all the way up. So that's also a really, really nice feature there. Then you also have climate off, so if you want to turn it off, but let's just turn it back onto auto at low. Then also you have air quality, so it says per million. So this is like, I guess, the particles in the air, so 2.5 per million. So it's a rating of 1, so that is good. If it has like a lot, then it's not good, so the air isn't really good to breathe, but still, that's quite nice. You also have timers, parking comfort, etc. Then you also go to like the car, you have one pedal driving, so this has one pedal driving, or you could just do regular 2-pedal driving. I prefer 1-pedal driving compared to 2-pedal driving, just because I feel like it's safer, but yeah, that's still a nice feature to have. You could also turn on ambient, so if you want the ambient lighting the way you want it to look, you could adjust it. You can forest, bath, I don't know. Interesting. So it doesn't seem like there's any ambient lighting on right now, but it just shows us like different things there. So it's also really interesting. And yeah, the screen is also, it's relatively quick. It's not slow, but it's definitely quite quick. You can open the trunk through here. You could change the mirrors, the exterior lights, rain sensitivity. So that is also really nice. And actually, rain sensitivity, it pretty much adjusts. So let's say there's rain on your windshield, right? Then it'll automatically like it'll tell you that's raining and start like swiping the windows. But if it's off, then it doesn't do that. So that's a really nice thing. You also have car status right there, which is also nice. Then you also go to settings, and you have controls, driving, sound, and charging, and other stuff like that. So that is also definitely quite nice. So the screen of this car is definitely really quick and really nice. I like the way it's set up, but it is, yeah, it's relatively big. Yeah, so it's about 10 or 12 inches to screen. That is definitely quite nice. Then also you look up and you have these sideless mirrors here, which are also really nice high-tech feature there that I'm a huge fan of. You also have lights there, so you can just press those, and you got your lights there. You have emergency, you have SOS, and it actually, I don't think those are chargers. I believe those are just speakers, because instead of being on the roof like most cars, like let's say when you're calling, they're right here, so you can hear from both sides. That's actually also really nice. Then you also have a nice little shader here. Okay, so it opens like this, and just a simple little sunblock there, but the way it looks, it almost looks like it opens in two pieces. A little confusing, but still, it's also pretty cool. Then pop that open. There's literally only one thing that I could say I'm not a huge fan of, which is this. So this roof, it heats up, it makes the cabin, right now it's not hot, but if it sits out for too long, then you get inside the car, the cabin will heat up significantly compared to if it didn't have a glass roof, because of the glass almost like superheats. So that's the only thing I could say I'm not a huge fan of about this car. But besides that, everything else is seriously nice. Then also you have like park there as well. You have Volvo badging here, nice little honk horn there as well. You could press this if you want to ask like Alexa, like bring me to Volvo or something like that, so it'll automatically bring you to those places and put them on Google Maps without you even touching the screen. Then you actually have this. A lot of new cars have this, but I highly doubt you guys know what this is for. It actually constantly watches your eyes. So whoever's in the driver's seat, it watches your eyes and makes sure that you're not, let's say, closing your eyes or sitting back and relaxing instead of driving. So if you do something like that, like close your eyes or something, then it'll make a really loud like beeping noise so that it wakes you up. So that is another really cool feature. And like in my opinion also, like this car, it's so, like if you really like fidgets, I definitely recommend this car, because like this piece, like the way the door opens as well, it's so nice, and it closes really nice. But yeah, so the whole interior of this car, it's really like playful and comfortable, and also a really luxurious for the price. So now we've checked out pretty much all of this really cool interior. Now let's hop in the back and see if they're just as good. And so now that we're in this back seat, first I'm going to talk about the seat, because the seat here, it's definitely really nice materials. You have more like leatherish filling material here, and then also you have a nice little storage area here as well, which is also really nice. You could pretty much put like a phone or a tablet or maybe a book as well, which is also quite nice. And overall leg room, it's relatively good. I have probably like 2 to 3 inches of knee room, and then good amount of foot room as well. And also you have those same type of really nice door handles there, nice armrest, and then a little more storage there. And these seats are also quite comfortable. You have some nice little lights here. Oh, so you just press those to turn them on or off. You have a little hanger there for a coach or something. Then also the window. The window view is relatively good. Not the greatest, but still, I mean, it's relatively good. Then also now, let's hop in the middle seat, because this middle seat, I mean, you can actually roll up the windows or down the windows here. So you can roll them up or down with this little button here. You have USB and USB-C ports there, a little more storage there as well, and then of course that under storage there. And these are probably one of the most comfortable like middle seats. Usually middle seats are so uncomfortable because they have this center type of piece there, so they're never really comfortable. This one, it's actually, yeah, it's pretty like plushy. It's not the biggest, but it's pretty like plushy and soft. Probably one of the best middle seats I've been in, so that's also really nice. Then you also have that glass roof there as well. And also, this actually has the headrest, so I can adjust it to my liking, which is also really nice. And so I think we've checked out pretty much all of this seriously cool car. Now let's hop out, and also I'm gonna rate this thing. And so before we end this video, I want to rate this car, because this car's rating is a good 8.7, because the interior is seriously nice, the exterior is really nice, the performance is also really good. We haven't been able to drive this thing though, but still, overall, this car is a steal for $58,000. So comment down below if you'd get this car. I would personally, after reviewing this And so I hope you guys liked this video. Remember to like and subscribe to Xaaron Reviews, and also check out my X and Instagram where I post some of the coolest car news and car photography that I know. So I'll see you guys next time.